tell us some about drama in the 80s.
Okay.
About the show?
Okay, to my left, let me see, it would be stage left. I remember those phrases. Carmen Ball, the director of the upcoming play at Ena's Gaslight. In the back, Lew Blockcolski wearing his, floppy, dirty raincoat. He's been out, what, flashing Volvos in the parking lot?
No. And that's the end of that statement.
Snappy comeback, but succinct. He looks psychotic. I'm not going to press it. Carmen, you're the director of the next play at the Gaslight Theater, I Never Sang for My Father, coming up, what, January 26th?
Yes, it's the last weekend in January and the first 2 weekends in February.
All right, this, to me, is, I think, one of the most impressive plays, and just in terms of the script, the quality of the writing, the Gaslight has done in years, personal opinion. But tell me a little bit about it, because it's a very powerful piece of work.
Oh, it really is. It's a very dramatic piece very natural piece about a family, mainly the mother and father who are getting up in ages, and then their son and daughter. It's a lot about the lack of communication within families and how people feel guilty about it, and how they try to make changes but don't always succeed.
Okay. Lew Blockcolski, lurking behind us, was on the director's selection committee, which selected Carmen Ball to be the director of this play. She didn't have to do a tabletop dance or anything, did she?
Oh, no. Oh, were you talking? I'm sorry. No, she didn't. She just gave us her fine credits and explained to us how she would handle this play. And the main thing I believe she said was that she wouldn't cast you. And immediately we said, go with Carmen. She's our kind of person.
And true to her word, she didn't. No, but marvelous cast. Let's talk about the cast, because some of the finest actors down at the Gaslight are involved in this play.
We've got a few faces that everyone's seen before. Dennis Lawson, Dave Abbott, Katherine Johnston, Dolores Four. We've got some really marvelous new people in the show. Cam Prochaska, Keith Eaton. Oh gosh, it's a cast of 11, and I know I'm forgetting people. Eddie Morris, Bob Tidings, some really nice people who have
we forgot who they are, but just fill in your own name at this point. There'll be a blank spot across the screen with lines. Just put in your own name.
But Carmen wants you to know that they're close personal friends of hers.
I'll go to the library next week and get a book on memorizing, so I'll have them all at my disposal next time.
Runs 3 weekends, January 26th. One final question. Dennis Lawson came up with an idea for the shattering climax, the monologue, which is so moving, and I Never Sang for My Father. He wanted to shout food fight and have the entire cast break out, throwing food. Did you go with his idea and input?
Dennis always has interesting ideas, and no, we're not.
Okay, so then go see the play, apparently. Lew, wasn't this wonderful theater? It's what we live for.
I already have tickets. See you there.
Carmen Ball, director of I Never Sang for My Father, starting January 26th at the Gaslight. Make reservations, 234-2307.
Okay, we're rolling. Okay, we're here with April Craddock Danahay, who doesn't want to be here, but she's here, and she's graciously agreed. This is, God, what, her 4th appearance on this show? 5th?
Oh, yeah, it gets harder to get on this program every time because she's seen the previous programs, like other former guests who you never see again, but she's nice enough to come back and help with some hard-hitting top news stories of the 80s, because she is the news director of KGWA. And now that she's got that job, we don't go shopping anymore, we don't, kill time, and she works for a living. It's sad.
Thanks. The only reason I'm here is because they've paid me, and because the lunch is so good out here. I had the special. It was good.
Ooh.
Oh, do you want me to go ahead now?
We want to hear about these top stories
okay.
of the 80s.
Stories, yes.
Of the 80s or 1989?
Whatever you want to do.
Well, you told me 89. Listen, here's the deal. What?
Okay, whatever.
It's your show, but...
Well, we need help.
It's your sterling personality that people tune in to watch, so so do it.
Right, thank you so much. Listen.
Victim of sea kelp, right here.
Thanks. In 1989, this was a killer year. No. No. Okay. First of all, we had the oil tanker Exxon Valdez spills, just junk everywhere, kills a whole bunch of little otters and stuff. News isn't pretty. I'm kind of cute, news isn't. Okay.
See the dimples? She got a dimple. Great dimple.
Okay, listen, here's the best one. Well, it's not the best one.
Okay.
But anyway,
Close.
Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini, he calls for the death of this guy, Salman Rushdie.
Salman Rushdie?
Salman Rushdie. Sounds good to us. Right?
Anyway, he's the author of the book Satanic Verses. Now, this guy doesn't die, but the Ayatollah croaks. Okay, there's something to say about that.
And I have it. Shiite. It's Islamic humor. Forget it. Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy Baker, he gets caught finally, and he's sent to the prison where he's being caught again.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, and Jimmy is now being traded nightly for a pack of cigarettes.
Okay, on a serious note, well, these are all serious, but the Beijing troops, they crushed China's fledgling freedom movement, and they kill hundreds in Tiananmen Square. Now, the best part about this horrible situation is Dan Rather's pushing around the Chinese government. Dan, I have to tell you, you can work for KG. Anyway, the Berlin Wall falls and democratic movement sweeps Eastern Berlin and the Eastern Bloc nations.
All right.
Does that mean the Republican movement's dead?
I don't know. What I think it means that in Germany,
Yeah.
you can't find a job. I think that's what it means. Because, you know, there's everybody there, and then they've got to worry about the homeless, they've got all these problems. Now, in Enid, this has been a great year. Okay, first of all, Pegasus gets the Liberty Bell Award. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. We're asked back on the Video Fests.
Yeah, but Lunch with Frank and Lou did not win for the second straight year.
Once again, proving Enid has taste. Then, I have these written down. Phillips is accredited as one of the top 10 liberal colleges.
I think you put too many dediteds in accredited.
That's right. Anyway, and Enid becomes more involved in issues with the Lone Mountain facility.
That's neat. That was neat.
Yeah. And also, here's one thing. This was pretty neat. It's one of the stories that people kind of might forget about, but I didn't. That's right. These 5 men that were bilking little old ladies and men out of thousands of dollars were apprehended. They were apprehended, and they were phony roofers, and they got them. And also, there's numerous drug busts and the nude dancing bust in Enid.
Which you covered, by the way. I mean, that was like you, the whole thing was like areolas and no teeth, and it must have been scary for you.
It was scary for me only because Mark Hutchison enjoyed himself, and because he noticed that he also knew most of the women dancers. That's news in Enid. That's news around the nation. What, do you want more? Okay, we're back.
More. Tell us more. Tell us more.
I don't know if there's really anything that can be said for this group, but I want to tell you, if Frank and Lou doesn't win again next year, are you going to submit something?
Yes, we'll keep trying. We're going to be like, I don't know, creeping toe jam. You'll never get rid of us.
They'll have to give them a best, well, they don't have to give you anything, actually.
They won't. Trust me, they won't.
But for consistency, I think maybe a 5. What are you doing?
I'm giving you a big thumbs up. She's April Craddock Danahay, news director, KGWA, a goddess.
That's right.
A news goddess. Right, here we are. We're now reviewing the best films of the 80s because Lou has taught cinema in the past. He has he's been on the equivalent of something the Nuremberg war crimes would have charged somebody over, Round Table of Cinema. He knows, no, we're kidding. It's a wonderful show. And also we have a small, cute kid here who's going to pop up who will, you may see, yeah, in fact, can you see Jarrett there in the background? It's what Roger Ebert would have looked like had he been a cute kid. Yeah. Seriously. Okay.
The kid's in the background crying, Frank.
He's going, I don't want to be on the show. These 2 guys are monsters. Oh, especially the guy who scared me on Round Table of Cinema. Oh, it's a scary show. Oh, oh.
I'm sitting here talking with a man who probably sees 10, well, no, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, 5 good films a year.
RoboCop. I see it every week, weekly.
He sees every slasher movie made.
I love him. More blood.
And it doesn't have any effect on his mind whatsoever.
No, I'm calm. I'm serene. I found my center, and it's full of gore.
Yes. And you ought to ride with him in his car sometime. He's got this chase scene kind of complex all the time. But look at this. Everybody agrees, and I'm just overwhelmed that they say the best film of the 80s was Raging Bull. And I find that kind of bull.
Oh, I thought it was the best film of the 80s far and away. I thought it was magnificent. Imagine, if you will, Rocky with a brain and actual acting and a decent storyline and a film worth going to see. Okay, do all those changes to Rocky and you've got Raging Bull, a penetrating glimpse into the desires and the darker aspects of man's needs, emotions, and libido, which I think is something you put on a cream cheese sandwich, I think. Okay.
Yeah, one of the classic scenes I remember is where he stacks all the champagne glasses up and pours from the top, and they all fill up. And that's, yeah, that's one of the things I remember.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it. I'm sorry. It's number 1, though.
Okay.
Okay, well, look at number 2. Now, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? How can you fault an animated rabbit and a pudgy little Englishman? No, there's no way.
Oh, especially, okay, the little cartoon they do at the first part of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is sort of like had Bugs Bunny spent his entire career on